Hey everybody, so I'm actually making this video because some stuff has been going on in the gaming community that I just kind of wanted to talk about. Everybody really seems to be talking about it, so I guess I'm just going to give them my 2 cents. Recently I heard about some video that some guy named iDubbz or Nick, his first name, posted online where, I should start over. So I used to watch this guy. His name was Leafyishere, and he's a pretty cool video maker. He to me, from an outside looking in, it always looked like this guy made really kind of like, he made videos and, he used game footage and game content. And he basically just did voiceovers, and he had these cool little skits he did, and he kind of just bashed people and bashed news stories that happened, or things that happened, in his life or in the news, and he would just bash them. And one day, a couple weeks ago, I think it was a week ago, 2 weeks ago or something, I was, on YouTube browsing around, and I saw this video in the link description, and it said, Leafy is here exposed or something like that. And I clicked it, and at first I thought it was just going to be like, oh, this guy said this thing about this autistic person, and, I'd already heard about what had happened, and, the whole thing about how he had bashed an autistic person who had, stopped some lady's eggs from falling off of her car. I think it was at a Walmart or a Target or something, and how Leafy had bashed him, and he had gotten a lot of backlash from that. And I saw this video, and at first I wasn't expecting much, and I was like, oh, it's probably just going to be another conspiracy video or something. But then I had never heard of iDubbz before. I don't think I'd ever watched one of his videos before, and I started watching it, and I started hearing what this guy was saying, and iDubbz basically tore Leafy a new asshole. I mean, honestly, not literally, but he literally opened a can of worms that has been just spewing shit for the past for the past week or so in the gaming community, and it was crazy. When I heard some of the things that iDubbz was saying Leafy was doing to, firstly, I didn't know Leafy didn't make his own content. I didn't know that. First thing I didn't know. I thought he made all of his own content because, obviously I make all my own content. I don't make the video games that I play, but, I have a game DVR, I make my own audio, I have my own opinions, and I throw it together in, some Movie Maker, some Audacity, that sort of thing, and I just throw it all together. I don't pay someone else to make my videos for me. I don't pay someone else to do this stuff. I do this in my free time because, one, I like gaming, two, I like having an opinion, and three, I like some of the shit I see on YouTube, so I like talking about it and, my life and shit I'm going through and all types of things like that. So when I saw this video and I heard things like Leafy was, and again, I loved Leafy's videos. I love Leafy's videos. I think they're great. But when I heard that he was paying people to make these videos for him at rates of like $50 to $100. At first I was kind of like, wow, you're paying these people who have almost $1 million views per video to, $50 to make content for your channel. I was kind of surprised. I was like, wow, is the market that bad? Like, are the prices really just that low right now? Because I would figure, you have like 1 million hits per video. Surely you should be able to pull like way more than $50 to $100 for an intro, a shout out. And when I heard that this person was being paid $50 to $100 to do an intro, I was like, wow. And then when I heard he was like, oh man, I was so amazed because it was Leafy and everything, I was like, well, I guess that makes sense, because doing collaborations is something even the YouTube staff tell you, you should definitely do if you want to improve and grow your channel. And so I was kind of like, okay, this makes sense. He has more views, more subs, more of everything, and he's asking you, oh my god, this is like, a bonus opportunity. This is amazing. This could be a big break for you, and this could be an amazing growth opportunity. And then you told me, oh, iDubbz said that this was like some sort of basically business opportunity where he was paying you to do content. I was kind of floored. I didn't even know that was allowed. I didn't know that you could do. I knew you could collaborate, but I wasn't aware that you could pay other YouTubers to provide content for you, and essentially fashion together these various YouTube videos and do that sort of thing. I kind of feel like the whole, if I make an intro for you, will you give me a shout out thing? I think it might even fall under gaming the system or something like that. But when I heard it was collaboration, I was like, well, that's one thing. But then when I heard you're paying people to provide you with content and to do shout outs and stuff like that, I was kind of like, if you're going to be paying people to give you a shout out in their video, or paying people to make intros for your video and put it on their channel or something like that, isn't that kind of like gaming the system? So at first I thought about it. I don't know, apparently YouTube moderators haven't really made a big deal about that sort of thing. I guess, I don't know, once you reach a certain level of views, subscribers, hits, viewing time, they just kind of don't really give a shit. They're just like, whatever you're doing, it's working, it's making us a ton of money, you're good as far as we're concerned. Whatever you're doing, just don't publicize it, keep doing whatever you're doing, and that's it. And to a lot of people who are first starting out, they don't get that kind of leeway at all, which is kind of lame. But honestly, it's just kind of, I guess, how it is. After you're of significant worth to the company, after a certain amount of worth, they're not going to bother you if you're paying people to make content for you, or gaming people in this sort of sub for sub fashion, which isn't really allowed. So when I finished the iDubbz video and I heard everything he had to say, I gotta be honest with you, Leafy had gone, in my book, from being like this dude who was just some dude who was anybody could do what he was doing, making videos and editing and all this stuff, and just having joking around and stuff. And after I had heard about the manipulation and the paying people and the this and the that, I was just like, dude, this sounds like everything he does is some type of super evil genius tactical executive level decision, and there is no way anybody could do this shit, could like get famous or anything like that. Like, you have to be a manipulating, conniving bastard or something to be able to do this. And at first, and that's not to say that Leafy is it sounds like, from what I've heard, that Leafy is he's a pretty vicious guy. I mean, looks may be deceiving, and he seems like a very, deceptive individual. I've known people like that in my life who, at first they seem like they're your friend, and they, befriend you and stuff like that. And later on, you find out that they're actually, using you in some way. And then, when you don't want to be used anymore, you don't want to be around them, you're tired of being around them because, you don't like the tactics they employ, you don't like how they behave with others, you don't like, they just don't really seem like a good person. You just don't want to be around them anymore. And oftentimes, when they do something that offends you and you just decide that's the last straw, they're always trying to kind of curry you, or kind of what's that word, what is it called, they're sort of I don't know, what's it called when you're kind of courting you? They're kind of courting you and stuff like that, and trying to get you to, I don't know, really just kind of come back to their side and just understand, really kind of manipulate you and put the manipulation and charm on, and really kind of get you back to their side, even though, what they're doing is something you don't agree with, and you have qualms with them. So, after I heard that, I still watch Leafy's videos, not all of them. I'm not really sure. I don't watch as much as I used to before. But to be honest with you, it kind of hurts when I see stuff like that. It kind of really makes me feel bad. I've been watching this person for years or months, and all of a sudden one day I just find out, this dude's a massive scumbag. And, it's like, there's not really much I can do. I watched the Baited episode after I watched the iDubbz episode. And I heard him, I heard his story in the defense, and I heard all of them shit flinging one another and just ripping each other's assholes to shreds. I mean, there was booty batter and blisters everywhere. There was literally scabs hanging on the ground. And I don't know. I mean, I don't know. It was really dramatic. What do you guys think? I don't know. Like, subscribe, comment. Definitely comment and tell me what you guys think about this whole thing, because that shit was insane.